guys, it's Mr. Michael here. I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos we've been doing for Bible class. I'm so thankful for all the people who have jumped in to help out with those. And I'm very excited to be on this video with you here today. We are on lesson number 6 in our workbooks. This lesson is titled David's Faithful Friend Jonathan. I hope you guys were able to see the video the other day. It was a little different from what we usually do. We borrowed a video that someone else had made. I thought it was a good way for you guys to see the telling of the story of David and Jonathan's friendship on the little slapstick theater. I hope that was funny and a little bit silly for you guys. Hope you enjoyed that. But today we're going to talk a little more about that story and talk about some things that come out of it, especially talking about jealousy, the way King Saul felt toward David. But before we get started, I want to take just a minute and sing our song for the books of the Old Testament. But we're not going to sing the entire song. We're just going to sing until we get to 1st and 2nd Samuel, because that's where our stories that we're studying right now come from. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel. There it is. Do you guys realize how many books of the Bible we've studied so far since we've been working on this Shaping Hearts for God workbooks? We went through Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, and now we're doing 1st and 2nd Samuel. That will make 10 books from the Old Testament that you guys know about now. That is awesome. You guys have been doing a great job, and I'm very proud of you. So I hope you've also been working on our memory verse, which comes from 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. 1 Samuel 16, 7. But the Lord said to Samuel, I do not look at the things people look at. Man looks at how someone appears on the outside, but I look at what is in the heart. All right, we've got one more song to sing. This is about the book of Samuel and helps us to remember how the people asked for a king, and helps us just to remember kind of some overall themes. I'm going to have it playing here on my phone to help us as we sing. All right. People said to Samuel, prophet, priest, and judge of Israel, listen, oh listen to what he had to say. We want a king, so give us a king. We want to be like other nations. We want a king, so give us a king. We want to be like other nations. The Lord God spoke to Samuel, prophet, priest, and judge of Israel. Listen, oh listen to what he had to say. They want a king, so give us a king. They want to be like other nations. They're not rejecting you but me. They want to be like other nations. Okay, so remember, Samuel had been their leader, but they wanted a king to be like everybody else. And so God said, well, give the people what they wanted. And that king turned out to be King Saul. And we've learned in the lessons the last couple of weeks that Saul didn't always make good choices. He didn't obey God. He tried to do things that were not his job and trying to do Samuel's job. And so God said that he wasn't going to be king anymore, that there was going to be a new king. And so that made King Saul feel jealous. He was very jealous of David because he figured out that David was probably the one who was going to be the next king. And so he did some very mean things to David. And the reason was that he felt jealousy in his heart. So what is jealousy? Well, jealousy is a feeling or an emotion that we feel inside that keeps us from being happy for other people and causes us to treat them unkindly. Usually there's something that makes us feel happy, and we're afraid that someone else is going to get in the way of our happiness. Now, for King Saul, being king made him happy. He wanted everyone to like him and to talk about how handsome he was. But one day, he heard some girls singing some songs, and their song basically said, well, Saul is okay, but David is awesome. And King Saul was like, well, what do you mean I'm just okay? I'm going to have to get rid of David or everyone will like him more and then he will be king instead of me. Well, remember, King Saul had a son named Jonathan. Jonathan and David became best friends. There were lots of times that Jonathan helped David to escape the mean things that King Saul was trying to do to him. Jonathan was not jealous of David at all. He was happy for David. Now, Jonathan could have chosen to let jealousy into his heart. Remember, in those days, the king's son was the one who would normally be in line to be the next king. So if David becomes king instead of Saul, then Jonathan wouldn't be in line to be the next king anymore. There are a lot of people who would have chosen to be jealous about that. But Jonathan didn't do that. Jonathan was not jealous of David. Jonathan was happy for David. And so, there are things today that make us feel jealous. And you might want to take a minute and pause this video and talk to your mommy and daddy about some things that might make you feel jealous. And how instead of feeling jealous, we can be happy for that other person. Whatever it is that you're thinking of, whatever that maybe you talk to your mommy and daddy about, it doesn't have to make you feel jealous like King Saul. We can be happy for those other people like Jonathan was happy for David. Jonathan and David were best friends, and by being friends, they helped each other to be able to obey God. I want to read to you from the book of Ecclesiastes, starting in verse 9. We're going to read Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verses 9 through 12. Ecclesiastes 4, 9 through 12. Two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person fails, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Likewise, two people lying close together can keep each other warm, but how can one be warm alone? A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. Three are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. Having two is better than one. It talks about reaching out and helping someone, and that is what David and Jonathan's friendship was like. But King Saul, he didn't think like that. King Saul didn't think he needed anyone else. He didn't think he needed God. He didn't think he needed friends. He thought he could do it all by himself. So I want you to picture, I have a little piece of yarn here. I want you to picture each piece of yarn represents one person. And do you remember what that verse in Ecclesiastes said? It said, one strand is easily broken. If I take this piece of yarn and pull on it, I can break it just like that. But, remember it said a triple braided strand is not easily broken. If I take three of them, we're going to take these and we're going to put them together and we're going to see what happens then. Okay, now look look here, a triple braided cord, or a cord of 3 strands. I pull on it, I can't break it because it's stronger that way. Now what do you think that third strand represents? If you have a good friend, like David and Jonathan were good friends, you and your good friend, yeah, that third one represents God. If you have a good friend who helps you to obey God, just like David and Jonathan encouraged one another to obey God, then you can be just as strong as a triple braided cord and not feel jealous of someone else. We can be happy for other people. All right, thank you guys so much for being with me here on our Bible time today, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.